Hello.
Welcome to the Bible Study Girl podcast. This is Sarita, but you know me as Bible Study Girl. Oh, and with our fabulous hello is none other than the executive producer of this podcast, Bible Study Brother.
What's good, people? It's your boy Bible Study Brother, also known as Mubs for this episode. But this is the most wonderful podcast of your day.
Mubs, thanks so much. I will say his introduction as Mubs is super appropriate because today we are all about showering Bible Study Mama, our mom, with some love. If you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time, you've definitely heard us pranking her, poking fun of her, surprise calling her, just having all the fun, taking all the shots at our mom. And I realized, I don't think we've done a verbal audio thank you and like accolade section to our mom. I feel like we've both written things for the blog that say how much we love her, how much we appreciate her, but we had not blessed her with an auditory component. So this is your "we love you, girl" shout out in an auditory format.
Love you.
We
love you, Mubs.
Yes, and Bible Study Brother introduced himself as Mubs because we call Mama Mubs, and he's Mubs, and I'm Subs. But we really had to think about my name, like.
Yo, it took a while.
It took a while, but I was fine with subs because I like to eat, and like a sub is a sandwich, and I was like, "This is perfect, guys. I can be subs."
I wish that wasn't the origin story, but it is.
I like the origin story. It's true to my life. And Bible Study Brother is Bubs because Mama calls him Bubba, and just shortened it to Bubs. And she's Mubs.
I mean, and I think this started about 10, 12 years ago. It was another one of those weird things where we stopped her and was like, "Why? Like, why did you? Why are you calling me Bubba?"
She was like, really into it.
And she was like, "I don't know." And then she said, "I don't know." And then for the rest of my natural born life, I am Bubba.
You are Bubba. Now known as Bubs, if we're all together.
I was just like Bubs, yeah. And I think because she calls me Bubs, then I instinctively responded as a rapper would with like, "Okay, Mubs." And then I realized that it was a me and her thing and was like, well, since I took Sarita's My Doodle and remixed it to Doodlebug, I was like, I think I can give her a nickname of my own origin.
Yes, I'm so glad you gave her a nickname of your own origin. It's crazy. We have a lot of nicknames floating around our family, but you know who I'm talking to.
We do. Matter of fact, we be driving up and down the street and there's this, I think it's like a law firm or something. And I think we saw it when we got up here because I remember like trying to point it out real quick, but it's Wooster and something. And I was like, oh, that was the name that didn't last that long.
Yeah, Woo Woo didn't last long. That was Sweet Baby's nickname when she was little. And Linda would call her Woo Woo, especially when she started crying. She would be like, all right, woo, 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 woo. So we're big on the nicknames over here. I'm so thankful that we do have an opportunity to shout out our mom in a positive way. I know I have shared in the past. Actually, let me say this. Mama was trying to tell me this weekend. She was like, "You are so spoiled." And I was like, "No, I am not. I am well taken care of." Because I was telling her a story about somebody else who is actually spoiled.
Oh, man. Get out of here.
And she was like, "But you are spoiled." And I was like, "Mom, I'm well taken care of. I'm not spoiled. Like, you got to come back off that, sis." So that's funny.
It is what it is. We've discussed this. This ain't about you today. So
okay. We have shared many. I think I'm not sure if I've shared this story before, you may consider this to be a spoiled person story. I consider this to be well taken care of. And also coming from a mom who is just really compassionate. She's a giver. She's a giver by nature. Like, she feels weird if she's not giving something to somebody, and she has a difficult time saying what she wants, I think, because she spends so much time giving to others. But my story and my example of a time when my mom stepped in and stepped up and stepped out, I have many of them throughout the course of my life. And I'm also thankful that I have all these stories, because a lot of people don't have that experience with their mother. So I'm thankful that my mom is so loving and caring and kind. But I was a freshman in college, mad in love with my high school sweetheart. He broke my heart again. I didn't travel far from home for college. I went to Conway, which is about 30 minutes from my home in Little Rock. And so my mom was close by. I would go home on the weekends to spend time with my family and my mommy, because I love my mommy. Anyway, so it was a weekday and I was devastated, heartbroken. I don't know what he had done to me. Can't remember. But I was on the phone with my mom and I was just really upset and crying and just sad. And y'all know what my mama did?
What she do, girl?
My mama drove to Conway so she could hug me and hold me like a big baby. And I am so grateful for that. I feel like that's just such a sweet, precious memory. It's a lot of people that wish they had a mom that would do that, especially when I was dealing with a trifling, no good person who was definitely going to break my heart again. Like, girl, you could have saved your gas, but you didn't, because your baby was sad. And I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Do you have a story you want to share?
Of course I do. There's a million of them. And now that I can do this in a streamlined way, my favorite Ma Doodle moment will always be her genuine laughter in, all situations. We used to go out and, blah, 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 words and things that I'm trying to say. We used to go out to, restaurants, and every time we would go out to a restaurant, Ma Doodle would have a moment where she would fall into hysterical laughter. Her face would turn red, and every time, it did not matter. It would be something, and it would happen like so randomly that you couldn't even pinpoint what was gonna make her laugh.
You couldn't pinpoint. She was always going to laugh, but you could not pinpoint the thing that was going to make her turn red and cry laugh.
Bruh. And it was a joy. I feel like every time that we would go out with her, and these moments would happen, like, it's something that we wouldn't forget, on top of like every other warm moment that she would bring when we would go out to eat. Because there was two moments. The other one I'm not going to talk about because this is glorifying her day. So, but you know, it's the warmness of mama, and the fact that when she's genuinely having a good time, you're having a good time too.
That's right.
Yeah. So she just blesses everybody around her. And that's one of my favorite, remember, I can't pick one of them because she literally laughed at everything. I think maybe the only tangible one that we both have talked about, is when we went to see Kevin Hart at the movie theater.
Yes.
And he got to this one bit and she just could not stop. She was hyperventilating and we was big embarrassed. But
well, okay, it was funny, like when the joke was funny, like ha ha ha, but like jokes later, she's literally still crying.
She cannot breathe.
Like it's quiet.
Like cannot breathe.
Oh my gosh, she could not get it together. I was gonna try to say, like, when is the last time she laughed like that? And I think it's when I called her to tell her about grandma. She called me about her phone troubles.
Yeah,
the robot that was on her phone.
Yeah,
I'm saying you weren't there when I was talking to her, but I was laughing, crying, and couldn't.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, when was the last? Like, now I'm trying to think about my last time, and I think it might have been the rehashing of said conversation, but I don't know. We wasn't all like out of there, but We have so
No, we
many of
wasn't
those
out
that
of
it's
there
really
like
great.
we do. We've had so many experiences where we've all been laughing, crying, mouth hurting, throat hurting, from the good things. I will say, mom is just she really is joy. And I think that is probably why I'm able to laugh so much about
Mm-hmm.
different things and maintain a positive attitude in negative situations. Like she she carries herself with grace. And so when you see that your whole life, is hard not to try to do that and try not to be that. And so I'm grateful for her for that. And I'm also grateful that she has such a great love for Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Her love for Jesus definitely, it kept us in church all the time, but she's not a person that just kept us in church and didn't live what she was learning about. She
Mm.
really lived what she was learning about and wanted the same for us and was always open to us asking questions. Um, she's not like I mean, of course, like she does have rules, like this is my house and I need for you to follow the rules, but she was not opposed to us asking questions about our faith.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do we believe this? And what does this mean? And, those things. And I think that's important to have in a parent.
And she also wasn't so predisposed to I know all the answers. Because if we
Right.
asked her spiritual questions that, that were quote unquote gonna stump her, she always had somebody in the church or like, well, if you want to know more about that, you should go talk to this person. She wouldn't just, I mean, because as kids, and I know me, you might try and leave it, well, if you can't answer, that means, I'm right. Like, or
Right.
I got this whole, and she didn't allow for that. And it was never in a way of like making you feel terrible. And she was not perfect. She didn't act like she was perfect, which is
Oh, no,
another
not at
thing
all.
about her walk. But she kept doing what she needed to do, and she made changes in appropriate things in different phases in her life. Even we talk about Mama with You before I was born, and I was like, she cussed.
Yeah, she was a different mama, but I think her seeing her real life walk with Christ, like
Mm-hmm.
seeing her change through the years, is a big deal. She wasn't like a lot of church folks, like I always been, holier than now. She's been saved for a long time, but her walk, she's definitely grown with her walk. Like it was weird for me that you didn't know she used to cuss. Like, cause I remember cussing mama, but
Nah, like I thought you and I were like, we are who we are in that regard. And trying to be better. I ain't gonna just put it out there like that. But I was like, I mean, I don't know where we would have got this from. And then when you explain later, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world. It does seem like,
we come from a family that has a beautiful way with words.
mm-hmm.
And they can string profanities together that are just, I mean, really,
Oh, I know.
I'm just saying, there are no other word combinations that, I mean, it's beautiful. It's perfect. You couldn't have said it
You couldn't have said it any other way. Um, you know, we are also blessed by the people she plant seeds in, then plant seeds and have planted seeds in us, have
Right.
invested in our gifts. We talking about calling her, it used to be one of the funnest things in the world.
Still is.
But I mean, like, well, when she was full blown, like we couldn't just get to her and we had to call up to Baptist and be like, can I speak to Beverly Gray in the OR, please?
Oh, you mean before folks
Yeah,
had cell phones?
before folks had cell phones. And everybody that would answer that phone, no matter most departments seeming like knew who we was, who we needed to get. Oh, you talking about Beverly? hold on. And like, well, hey, Sarita, how's school?
Right. You know, I met one of her coworkers last week. She was like, are you Sarita? Yes, I am. Definitely am. Thanks for checking on my mommy.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's
I'm
like,
Sarita. Because I know she
beautiful.
talks about us all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
They know more about my life than I probably want them to know. I especially know that to be true, though, now that I'm an adult and I work with people that have kids. I know so much about their children that their children will probably be mortified to know that I knew. So I know there are people out there that know lots about us.
Yeah, and they have all, increased our extended family.
Right.
Even this weekend, I was talking to Aunt Pam and Uncle Vincent and talking, like, not even realizing or forgetting, because I have cooked so much since that first meal, that how influential Uncle Vincent was in my culinary career.
Let me tell you, this ain't got nothing to do with mama, but Lord knows you talked that man's ear off. He walked off with my phone. I said, well, I guess they having a side conversation.
Oh, my man, I just, like, I don't get to talk to him often, and it was like, but that's a connection from mama. Like, we have so many people that are actual uncles to us, people doing our taxes, lawyers, and everything, our close family friends. We have people we've seen grow up. Weddings we've gone to. We've gone to functions and just been like you said, everywhere we went, even if it's me and Sarita's first time meeting somebody, I guarantee that they know about us. They know who we are. Oh, you must be.
They know our names.
They know our names.
Like, who is this? It's like, this gotta be Sarita. This the one you was talking about. So I'm grateful for a mom that has a loving personality and open heart. And that people receive her well, because she is just so kind. She is so caring. We often joke about mama because she is quite hilarious. And I asked her this weekend, I said, girl, how did you keep me alive all them years? Because you be struggling to do stuff that I be like, you should be doing this on your own. So she is fun.
What was her response?
She was like, girl, I don't know. Nothing but the grace of God.
Yo. Because, but that's the thing about mama in her origin stories. Is like the mama we knew prior to 2005 was, bro, you do everything. You just got it all together. If we say we want something, if you say you want to go somewhere, we know where we going, when we going, how many times we stopping, how much time you want to cut off of, whatever map quest thing is going on. Like, that's who we knew.
Yeah, she considers it a personal challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when Aunt Pam asked us, like, when are y'all going to be here? And Mama was like, it usually takes 6 hours, but I can be there in 5.5. Like, girl, this is not a speed race championship.
It is. I got that. Like, I 100% like inherited that, because it is an offense to me whatever any map thing says, and I'd be like, not today. I guarantee you I will make it before then.
Well, you got it honest from your mama, child.
But with that, we talked about we talked off air about when we feel we became parents to her is, during that one phase, I think, in her life where she didn't take into account just how special she is. And we were like, oh no, this is weird. It just felt weird. It felt out of place. And here we are. We've been raising that little baby.
We've been raising our little baby ever since. I will send Bible study Bubs, text messages about her and be like, she doing this. Be like,
oh my goodness. And that's our communication now, because it's like she has continues to give so much that it's like, girl, sit down, like, stop.
Right.
You like, what are you doing?
Like, definitely, there's room to help people, but also self-care is important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing we've been pushing for her so much lately. Like, yeah, you can give to other people, but you won't have anything to give if you're not giving to yourself. So you need to be intentional about that,
Yes.
Mubs. Give to
Yes,
yourself, sis.
Mubs. You know.
Give to
Um,
yourself, sis.
I guess
Um,
go ahead.
I have a funny mama story that people can go back and listen to. Is that what you're gonna say?
I was gonna talk about how hard it is for her to do that and how we have to trick her into doing anything.
Okay, you can tell that story, but I was gonna say if you want to hear a funny story about us with Mubs, Mubs is on the line. You can go back and listen to a prior podcast, and it's all about our trip to Jamaica and Dumb River Falls. Hilarious.
Oh, that popped up on my timeline the other day, and I was like, "Nope, I'm not listening to it. I can't relive that. It was too traumatic, bro." Like my sister sacrificed me to the lambs, bro.
Oh no, your sister almost went to glory, and I was like, "Listen, bro, I don't.
Listen.
You finna have to carry the load. Get out, baby."
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead with
But
your story.
I was gonna
Us
talk
tricking
about
her because she is a hard person to give to. Like
hard.
I touched on it earlier. I take this back. She's not a hard person to give to because I can give to her. But when I ask her, what do you want? I said it earlier, it's difficult for her to decide because she's so used to giving to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the story you're about to tell about how we had to trick her to figure out what she truly wanted so that we could get it for her.
So we go to whatever jewelry store it was. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. They're not paying us. If you'd like to, send it to that email. But so we go in there and Bible City Girl BSG. I don't know. I was about to call you something else. I don't know what it was though. Walks around and she's like, "I like this, but what do you like?" And so she's going through and she starts to pick like 2 or 3 things. And then after she picks those 2 or 3 things, I feel like I pulled you to the side and was like, "I'm going to order them now and we'll come back and get them," and surprise her with these things on Mother's Day. Because we were trying to do this so she would not know what she was getting. So I think you took her off somewhere and I, handled what I needed to handle there so we could have all this done. Then we took her to a purse store and was like, if Sarita sets it up, all of your names are getting down there, sets it up as you need help with the outfit or something.
Hey, here's the thing. I like to shop. It's not a secret. Amazon knows me.
Girl, the people at Lowe's know you.
The people at Lowe's know me. That's how you know I got a problem. It was so crazy. This story, real quick. Then we're gonna get back to mama. When I was remodeling my house, I was on a tear. Do you hear me? I was buying stuff left and right. And the thing is, I wasn't the one going, I would go pick it up because they had the online option. Like you could order it online and then you could pick it up. So I would pick it up or my contractor would pick it up. Well, I don't remember what I ordered this day. It was something small. We went in there to go get it. And the guy is like, "Oh, Sarita, I finally get
I've seen the number a lot. I see that number all the time." But
he was like, "I only work on the weekends. But I see this name a lot."
I see. Oh, and I look, and I'm turning my head, and I was like, "Oh, as soon as we get to the car, we talk about this. This is terrible."
So with that as you need that knowledge in the back of your head. So my mom she's not a big shopper, but if she's with me and she knows I want to shop, she'll tag along.
Because she hates shopping.
She hates shopping, but she'll tag along with me. And so that's why it was easy to get her to be like, "Oh, okay, this one cute or whatever." Because I'm shopping and it's never even crossing her mind that really I'm shopping for you.
It never crosses her mind. So that was a really cool Mother's Day that we got to do for her. She was ecstatic. I remember now because we woke up early. It was before church, and we got up and I think this is one of those, we put the stuff on her and was like, hey, wake up. You know, we woke up before her intentionally.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. It was sweet. We've done that a lot. Like those are, we literally do treat her like our little baby in terms of like when we plan stuff and it's like, all right, we got to wake up at the butt crack of dawn and wake her up, you know, all gently so she can look at her things and play with her toys and see how happy she has
to go to church. Here you go, little baby.
But she bougie, so you know,
she appreciated the gifts. She really enjoyed them, and I think if we had gone into the store and been like, "Okay, pick out what you like," then she would have picked out the cheapest things.
Bruh.
Because she would have been looking at the prices to determine, you know, they can buy me this.
I don't know. I was like, stop. But that's the other thing that she, like, you know, in the same way that she still sees us as her babies. And that is, nothing is more apparent.
Oh, MG. I have a perfect example from this weekend. She tried to bully me into telling some of my personal health information at the table. And I was like, no. And she was like, I mean, I know you grown, but I was like, exactly. No, because you still think I'm a baby. I am grown, girl. No.
Listen, nothing is more apparent than like if we'll talk about something. So it's like, this is how me and Sarita like test her. So it'll be something serious that we did it's not serious to us, but something we did as kids. And we'll be having a conversation with her about something. And then we'll go, I mean, if you want us to tell you, she tries to do the mom thing where she'll be like, well, go ahead and tell me. Are you sure? No, never mind. I don't want to know. Because it's
no,
like,
she doesn't want to know. There are so many
things
I will not ever tell her because even I'm grown, I'm safe, you know, nothing. And it could be, let me tell y'all, the stuff she gets upset about, it's like stuff that's like so small, like real deal. It's not even like, it's nothing traumatic. It was nothing dangerous. It's just a funny story.
Everybody got home safe, you know, like there were laughs to be had. And she'd just be like, how did you, ma'am? We have just explained to you that, you know, you said by the grace of God, we was alive, ma'am. Listen, like we learned and assumed things from your actions that I thought, you know, I just thought you knew. You know, oh man, but she is.
I'm thankful. Yeah, I'm so grateful that I have a great relationship with her. She was definitely 100% a mom when I was growing up, and she still tends to be mom. We definitely have more of a friendship now than we did when I was a child. Because she was definitely mom when I was a child. She definitely came up with things that were in my best interest, but I definitely didn't agree with them. I'm gonna tell you this story. I remember I was in the gifted and talented program. You may be like, why are you putting that information out there? Because when you're in the gifted and talented program, they have different activities and things that they want you to do. And so they would send home like a huge pack of things that I needed to do, like in my spare time, like not in class time, like in my spare time. And one of the things we had to do was we had to research different, I don't remember if it was animals or whatever. And I really wanted mama to help me with it. I was like, sis, you're the adult here. You really could be doing this work for me. And she was like, you know how I helped you? I bought them encyclopedias over there. So you better go over there, bust them open, and start writing out your work.
Oh, that was another thing. Like she poured all the way into our gifts.
She poured so much into my gifts. And I resented that at the time. Like, what kind of parent makes me sit up here on a weekend and bust open an encyclopedia and do this work? Like a parent. And it would have been so easy for her to just be like, no, you can do it. You know, I mean, I'll help you. You know, she knew what I was capable of. Yeah. Go do it.
You remember your leaf book?
Yeah.
Like, bruh, like, listen, she did so many science projects on the day before they were due with me that things happen. She was up all the midnight oils to like, well, we here now. Like, and of course the projects would look like you can't give me a day and expect to win the science fair, though I did still expect to win.
Did you?
Oh girl, every time. Because that's how
Every time?
every time. That's how good I thought my mama was. Like, cause she put bruh, the stuff we put together, like we had all the kids do the constellation thing. And we were going to do one well, not the constellation, this is the Earth's core. And so we were gonna do the foam one that everybody does is what I actually wanted to do, but because I'm lazy and I could not figure out like the crafting part of it, we just went and got clay colors. So we got the clay and we put it in one of our big blue bowls, and that was my project.
Voila!
Or
Magic.
and my gifted and talented thing is I had to come up with an invention. And so I tried to create shoe covers. And I had been trying to figure this out. And just like you said, like mama would help in a lot of different situations. But in regards to no, this is supposed to be what you figure out and what you're supposed to do, she was real adamant about that. And so I had to like I put like a rubber band through, like I had to figure out a way to like how to glue and make it elastic so it could wrap around the shoe. I didn't win anything, but it's just how much you learn just from the things that she did. She was very into showing us different aspects of life, different way to work through problems.
And still is. That's a theme that has continued throughout my life. She's always told me that I'm well able, so I need to figure it out and make it do what it do. And so I have that part of her in me, and she gets so irritated when like I'm having a difficulty or a hard time with something that I don't ask for help, and I'm like, sis, you created me. Like you told me I am well able and I need to get it done. So I get stuff done over here. Like,
and you don't ask for help, Mubs.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like she's my model. She don't ask for help. And she was very like times that I did ask for help and I expected her to be like, okay, I'll do it. She was like, I believe in you. You got it, sis. So I would be like, okay. So she really instilled that in me. And so I'm thankful for it and I'm grateful for it now. Of course, I have resented it at different times in my life, but I'm grateful for it now because I'm independent, and like I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah.
Now, of course, don't be afraid to ask for help out there, people. That's something else I'm working through. It's a healthy balance, but she didn't handicap me. So I'm thankful for that.
No, but it was in moments where we did need to figure out the thing for ourselves, where it can't always be you come in and fix it. Though in matters of food and money, she is still big bags, big bank Bev. Because like so often, and I told this story once, like the same story that you're doing is the same story about the responsibility of getting things that you want. Like we know she'll get us important stuff, but you and I both have this. Well, like if I wanted, when I had to get my PlayStation 2, I had to trick my grandmother into getting it for me. And I had to buy, my PlayStation 3. Whereas it's not like she wasn't still buying me stuff. It's just, this is my line, cuz like we're not doing that. And so you had this sense of responsibility that she gave, this sense of ownership, this sense of being on top of your, finances. And while I ain't gonna lie, I ain't the best at it, I'm still getting better. The sense of ownership is something that I can clearly say I got from her. And
Right.
when she got the house built, I was like, yeah, there's nothing else that I want to do in my life other than get a house built. Like, I'm not trying to, like, I really don't want to, oh, I'm glad that you got this, person got this built. This fits, like, I will accept a starter home, but it's not going to be the end home. Like, it's going to be a starter home, and then, we'll build and design and have this fun.
We are going to talk about mom. We're going to get back to her, but just quick question since you brought it up while we on here and I didn't forget because I'm old. Would you accept a home that you just need to redo, or it's got to be from the ground up?
At what phase?
Just at any phase. You just saying before you check out of here, got to be a one from the ground up.
Yeah, before I check out. Like, we can do a starter home. We can, but like, it's just, there was something spiritual about that. And I was blessed with the opportunity with her to think, even with you, to think about all the different parts of what she was having put into that house. The fun and joy of, you can't pick white, sis, as your color for your house. Like, no. Y'all,
I mean, she can.
You didn't let her. That was the whole thing, is you said no. And she was like, well, I'll pick, this one.
Well, the thing is, it's just because I know I felt like she was going white because she didn't want to make a choice. Like,
no, but you were exactly right, because that's why she was doing it. But that was like seeing
why
her.
Why would you build a home from the ground up if you don't want to make choices, sis? Like,
but the stuff there, she made choices on. Like, that was having a breakfast nook, her reading corner, which is her work corner and not her reading corner at all. But, all of these things when she was making these decisions, her bed in and of itself, like, that was so like, yes, making choices, like, from where we went in the apartment to where she went in the house. Like, nah, there's no way for me to not want those things for myself, especially kitchen wise. I'm over here like having negotiations with my wife about, like, I was like, in my mind, the kitchen is mine to design, and she was like, well, then I get this and this, and I was like, we need to talk about it. Like, we got to
but back to our mommy we love so very much. I just felt like it was important for us to take time out of our schedules and our days to really verbally affirm you. We affirm you off the air, but I think it's important for you to know that I do value you. I value our relationship. I love you. And I'm grateful to God that he gave me you.
Yeah. We love you, and we know that while this year hasn't been, or these last couple years weren't the best, you were still the best and did so many different things that are nourishing to our souls. One of these days,
love you, Mubs.
Love you, Mubs. One of these days, one of us will provide you with a grandchild, so you can be away with us.
If not both of us.
Yeah.
Why you say just one? You trying to say I'm not ever gonna have a man?
I mean the soon aspect.
You trying to say I'll never have a man?
You are.
You trying to say I'm too independent?
I ain't saying nothing. I don't know what's triggered you, sis. I'm praying for you, right? Oh, Holy Father.
In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus. Bless her heart. But yeah, we love you, Doodlebug, Mubs, Beb. Who's Beverly?
Which one is Bev?
Which one is Bev? Oh my God.
Which one is Bev?
Which one is Bev? Boy, I ain't gonna never ever forget that.
Me either.
The trip taken, just overall spiritual warrior, prayer warrior, church secretary of every church you done been at, secretary of so many different things, hardworking for 34 years, coming up on, hard as a nurse, you further your education. You've done so many different things in your life. You drive around in a big body like nobody's business. Um, you're just you're an amazing person, and we love you.
Love you, Mubs.
If any of this piqued any of your guys' interest in hearing more, then please make sure you follow us on the socials. Start off on Twitter at Bible Study Girl the number 2. Then you can go over to Instagram. It's just Bible Study Girl, and it'll be the same on Facebook. And you can like all of our posts and subscribe there, so that way you can see any of the upcoming events, things that we're doing, blog posts. If you don't want to leave Facebook and you just want to listen to the podcast there, you can do that as well. And then you might want to be a guest. You might want to share a testimony. You might want to give us some things to pray for you about, because I feel like eventually we're going to end up leading to like some sort of prayer list or something, which I think might be really cool, because we do want to pray for people, because that's not, I mean, we do be praying for y'all on or off of this thing, but send those in to Bible Study Girl 2019 at gmail.com, so we can add you to our list and be able to do that, and maybe even have future episodes discussing some things that you guys would like to have us discuss. And remember, it's not hummingbirds preach. It's not sea turtles preach, but we preach.
And until we meet again, guys, keep preaching.